Right, welcome back. We are continuing under processing of business transactions. Previously, we looked at a number of transactions. Now we are looking at customer and sales transactions. First, we're going to look at how to process customer transactions via the customer journal. Right. Mostly the customer journal is mainly used in an environment where, so the system calls it customer badge, which is the customer journal. So we're saying mainly it's used in an environment where Sage Evolution is not being used as a main system. Like, we're not invoicing our customers using Sage Evolution, but we're using Sage Evolution to do our books to account for the business. So the sales which are being processed using another system, either a manual system where invoices are just being manually written, or another accounting system, another invoicing system like QuickBooks Point of Sale, right? Uh, then if the sales are being done using such a system, then we have to use a customer journal or a customer badge to take those sales into Sage Evolution. So we're going to look at customer journals or customer badges. Then we're going to look at what I call customer invoicing, which is a scenario which arises when we are now using Sage Evolution to invoice customers. But before we get to that, let's look at the customer page or a customer journal. Now, the first thing that you have to do is to create a customer page or a customer journal, and we are going via what? Transactions, customers, forward slash sales, then customer pages. So when you click there, it gives you this window. Right, when it gives you this window, you have to first click on new badge. Right, when you click on new badge, you are then given this window where you are supposed to create a customer badge or a customer journal. So you see the badge number will be ARB. This is accounts receivable badge 001. Then you've got that description. Right. Uh, Initially, when you are creating this, you just say you can leave everything as it is, but we encourage you to tick here on always show GL contra account. This is very important, especially you see when you will be doing take on balances. So we always encourage you to tick on always show GL contra account. We also encourage you to always tick on always allow editing of GL contra account. Uh, as I said, this is very important, especially when it comes to take on balances, which we are going to do later on. So once you have done that, your customer badge is ready for creation. You then click on OK to create your customer badge. You'll see, as I said, the system, what it does, automatically it opens the badge. So this is our badge, but we're going to close it so that you see what we have created. This is what we have created. This is the customer badge or a customer journal that we have created. A reference ARB001, AR for accounts receivable, B for badge. So this is what we have created. So for us to process transactions in this badge, we just have to double click on it. When we do double click on it, you'd see it's going to open, right? So I've just enlarged it. So here you'd see this is what we saw on cashbook processing, on general journal or journal batch processing. This is standard, but in here, that's where it differs now. So you have got transaction date. Then because you are processing a customer batch, by default the module is AR for accounts receivable, and what comes up here is what customer transaction. So we have got to select the customer transaction that is the customer account that is to be processed. So probably, let's say we're dealing with that particular customer. So you select that customer that you're going to be transacting on. Then once you select the customer, everything is fed in. Then you have to come here on TR code. TR code stands for transaction code. So these are the transaction codes that we have. So probably let's say you were to process a sale which was done for this customer. It means your transaction code will be IN for invoice, right? So automatically, because you had created sub accounts, it will pick a sales account. So you should if there was any other account that you want to select, probably let's say we had a number of sub accounts here, sales mashingo, sales mtare, you could select that. In this case, it's just selecting sales mtare. Why? Because we only created one sub account under sales, right? Then here you put in a reference. So the reference here, if you were using a manual invoice book, the reference could be the manual invoice number. Then the description could be sales or whatever description which is closer or relevant. Then by default we debit a customer when we make a sale to that particular customer. So probably let's say the sales were worth 59,000. So we put in that amount. Then the text type which is selected for clients will be output text, which is 1. We are selecting this if we are charging VAT. If we were not charging VAT, then we're not going to set up VAT in the first instance. And of course we're not going to choose text type 1. So once everything is set up, we then proceed and we are done in terms of processing this transaction. So if we have got a number of them, we just run them through in this customer batch or customer journal. So we could capture everything, right, depending with the number of transactions which are there. So probably let's say the salespeople have done 10 transactions for that particular day. It means you could come here and do as I have done on this line. Then once you are happy or once you are done, we click on post batch. The system will prompt us and tell us that the batch has been modified. It will also ask, do you want to save changes? Yes, we want to save changes. It runs a validation, then it will inquire again and ask, do you want to print? If you want, we say yes. If we don't want, we just say no. Then it will ask us, are we sure we wish to post this batch? Yes, we are sure. Then it will successfully post the batch. So again, you need to know that once we have processed, our reports are updated. It will prompt us if you want to allocate. If you want, we just say yes. Then now, you see, before we process the payment, now we've got an invoice. If you want to match these two, we just click on allocate all. Then we close that window. Then we say yes, we want to save changes. Then we're done. So as I was saying, you'd see once we have processed this customer page or customer journal, once we have posted it, our reports are automatically updated. In this case, the transactions which are affected is the customer account as well as the sales account. So they are automatically updated by us posting the customer page or the customer journal. So this is your customer journal. And as I said, the customer journal mainly is used in a scenario whereby we are not using evolution to invoice our clients. We're not using evolution to invoice our clients, right? So if we were using evolution to invoice our clients, we would find the way we're going to process customer transactions was going to be different. And how was that going to look like, and how are we going to do it? It means we're going to come on transactions, then we were going to go via order entry. You'd see, if you are to process customer transactions using evolution, the first step now is for you to start by a quotation. You'd see, you'd actually start by a quotation, then you go to invoice, then you have credit notes, then probably between the invoice and the quotation you could have a sales order. So for you to process those transactions now, and this was saying is in a scenario whereby you're using evolution to invoice your customers. It's different from the customer batch we were looking at. So you're going via transactions, then order entry, then you are coming to sales order. See, when you do that, you'd see there is a document which is going to load, which is the this document, the new sales order document. So it will load up. Then you could actually look up for for the client that you are to process, starting probably with a quotation. So you look up for that, right? Once you have looked up for the client, you'd find here the order date, due date, everything else defaults to current date. If it was going to be different, you could actually select here and select a different date, but we're just going to leave the default dates as they are. Then you come in here, you click here. The default module selected will be ST for stock, right? Then you come down here, you select the item that you are to quote. Like in this case, we're going to start with a quotation, so you could come there and click the item that you are going to quote. So we have selected that item, and once we have selected that item, we then proceed. We then continue. We come here, we select the warehouse that we are picking. In this case, we're assuming that this is being done from the main warehouse, so we're picking main warehouse, and we've got 0 items there, right? Of course, so I'll just do a quotation. Then for now we'll leave it there, so that we can capture some items, because with the 0 items, what it does, it won't be able to process our other documents. So we've got 540 there as our selling price. Then we proceed. So basically, this is how we do the quotation. uh, this is how we do the quotation. But I think for now I'm going to stop here on customer invoicing, so that first of all we do supplier invoicing. We bring in some stocks, then we come back to how to process customers, starting with the quotation, of course, which is the one we were trying to do here. So we're just cutting off here, then we are going to suppliers, then we'll come back to this after putting in some stocks, so that you can actually see how we do it. So I'm just closing this. Has not been saved. Yes, we may want just to save it, right? We don't want to print this, right? So we're just leaving it there. Then we'll proceed. We'll come back once you've done supply invoicing. Thank you.